ah, ah, ting tang, walla walla, bing bang, ladies and gentlemen, and all of our friends beyond the gender binary. It is sometime in the 3 o'clock hour here on KGLT, KGLZ, and KGLT.net, which means it is time for the coffee show. Our apologies. My name is Keith, and over there is my friend Randy. Hi, Randy.
Hi, Keith. I don't ascribe to that level of medication. I just put the lime in the coconut like my doctor told me to.
Yeah, you got a prescription for that lime in the coconut. I just told the witch doctor I was in love with someone, and then he told me what to do. But he didn't really write me a thing. He just sang a song and sounded like the Chipmunks, I'm afraid to say.
Was this doctor, the witch doctor or otherwise, if they're covered in fur and they have like a stripe down their back, they may be a chipmunk.
Yeah, they were wearing a oversized sweatshirt with an initial of their first name on it, I assume.
Like Laverne from Laverne and Shirley does.
She wears a sweater, sir.
Well, sure. She's not a chipmunk. She can wear sweaters. Chipmunks got to take what they can get. At any rate, ask your chipmunk if ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah is right for you.
On that note, it has often become a point of contention among me and my dark pride. Are we running out of medication names? It seems like now they just have to put people into a room and say, Vivazlazor.
We long ago ran out of names that we can ascribe to prescription medications.
I would think so. So what is the next step? Do we, like hurricanes, start naming them after Western European first names?
It only works with hurricanes because there are relatively few of them and only seasonally, generally speaking. That's changing, but A to Z does not get you very far. And then they'd change between what is traditionally male names and female names alternating.
Yeah.
To distinguish, but you can do that when there aren't that many. There's a new prescription medication all the time. And they keep coming up with pettier things to treat with them.
Yeah.
And so it comes out that, like, the thing that is not even a mild annoyance can get a medication for it, but it has horrendous side effects that you would never consider doing that for.
But I mean, what is the next step just in the naming for, like, the associative properties? Do we start licensing celebrities? Like, ask your doctor if Zsa Zsa Gabor is right for you.
Yeah, well, once they're deceased, you could use a celebrity name. That's
but
fine.
not their likeness, yeah.
Yeah, if you had the little pill-shaped, if it was like a Flintstone vitamin, but of Zsa Zsa Gabor, then you would have a legal issue.
So you're saying that my plan for chewable 12 Angry Men vitamins isn't going to work with my tiny Henry Fonda and my tiny George C. Scott?
Right. The Henry Fonda estate, which I assume at this point is Bridget, would sue you.
And she should.
If not for that she'd find some other offenses.
Oh yeah, there's probably something else I've done.
Keith, you've passed the point of no return.
That is an excellent Bridget Fonda reference, sir.
Thank you.
Kudos to you as a fellow former video store employee.
Yes.
Well done.
I met Bridget Fonda one day in the video store where we worked.
You did, yes. Right after I had departed working there.
It's the only celebrity sighting I think that I had there. It was a pretty good one, though, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty great. I don't think I ever spotted a single notable famous person. There were some who wandered through when I was not on shift. I know Bill Pullman stopped in.
He definitely did. I wasn't there at the time.
Nor was I, yeah. I was not working that day, though I know he signed our Lake Placid poster, It's a Croc, Bill Pullman,
Yep.
Which is great because it's a movie.
So good.
It's a movie about a giant killer crocodile.
Right. It works on so many levels.
Yes. But Randy, nonetheless, in honor of your fine Bridget Fonda reference, I want to treat you to a fantastic beverage at this hour's program underwriter, Neptune's Brewery.
You know, lots of actors eventually get to star in, whether they choose to do so or they are forced to pay the bills. They will at some point be in a giant monster movie.
Oh, I thought you were going to say an episode of Law and Order, but yes.
There are two things they'll do, Keith. They'll do an episode of Law and Order. Sometimes multiple characters over the years on Law and Order.
Yes.
They're hoping that you forget that actor has been on there.
Sarah's friend Gibson Fraser, who of course you and I know from the very excellent and hard to find movie Man of the Century, is in 2 separate episodes of Law and Order. And when Sarah said she emailed him and said she saw him in one, he's like, was I kicking a door down as a cop or was I a guy working at a restaurant?
I like to think that they were the same character. And it's just he got kicking the door down. It wasn't necessary. That was like too much force for that thing. So he got fired, and then he became a waiter at the restaurant.
Or he, in getting interrogated by the cops about a murder, was inspired to join the police force.
Yeah, could go either way.
Yeah.
Could definitely go either way.
A hero's journey. But you were saying there's two. What is the other thing a hero that
the other thing that they would
do,
of course, is star in a giant monster movie.
Yeah.
And, even actors that you would, think are maybe above that level, like a Bryan Cranston. No, he was in that new Godzilla movie,
Yeah.
Like it's a thing that is kind of pervasive in our society. Keith, if you had to star in, you've done some acting. If you had to star in a Creature of the Week style, giant monster movie or cocaine bear style feature, whatever the case may be, what would your choice be?
That opens it up a lot. I mean, because then I would be like, well, what about opioid trout? But
sure. They're a problem. They are a problem.
They are a problem, yes. They're whirling disease. It's very slow whirling disease.
Right. They can skeletonize a cow after the cow's death if it falls in the water.
Yes, and has decomposed.
Right.
I think if I could be in a movie, I'd like to be in a Wendigo movie.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I don't think there has yet been a really trashy, big screen version of the Wendigo story. They have all been sort of small.
I think there was one just called Wendigo.
But it wasn't like a big movie. It was like a video release.
It was budget.
Straight to video, like all of the other movies I've acted in.
And who are your co-stars in this venture?
Well, I mean, Dreamcast is Frances McDormand needing a paycheck very badly.
Of course. Just some bad investments, I assume, on her part. All her Fargo money went to whiskey and gambling.
She loaned a lot of money to William H. Macy to get him out of going to jail for paying to put his kids into college. That's
a thing.
That is a real thing. And then some pre-shot a la Roger Corman, some footage from before the passing of who did I said it right before and then I totally lost it. Give me 1 second. What's the movie The Negotiator?
Kevin Spacey?
No, God, no. No.
Is he in The Negotiator?
Yes. Oh, he's totally is. But one of the great character actors of all time. Yes. Some like a la Roger Corman pre-shot before his death footage of the great character actor J.T. Walsh. Is also in the Wendigo movie.
Is he the Wendigo? He's stumbling through the woods and people confuse him as for the Wendigo. That's the reveal at the end. There's no Wendigo.
He's either like the lazy sheriff or the doctor who explains the concept of the Wendigo in like 2 or 3 expositional scenes. And we filmed that like in, 35 years ago. And then that footage has been finally used and merged digitally with me and Frances McDormand into, Wendigo. It's called Here We Wendigo, A Wendigo's Tale.
I'm sorry, Keith. Your cast is too white, and it's now considered cultural appropriation.
Good point.
From a legend that is a native mythology.
That is very fair. You're right. I should have said that the movie is me and Graham Greene.
You should have.
Yeah.
Wes Studi is in there as the old guy who tried to warn you.
Yeah, Wes Studi, he's rad. Yeah, and some of the younger folks from Reservation Dogs. You're right. I shouldn't be in this movie at all. I should be like. I should make it plain. I'm the guy at the gas station who sells them beef jerky and is like, heard there's a Wendigo about, and that's it. Right. Like that's it.
A lot of talk about the Wendigo lately. Sure, you're careful up there. Here's your beef jerky. That'll be $4.69.
Unleaded or super unleaded. Thank you for remembering all of my lines. Yes, thank you for quoting them back to me. It's an iconic performance.
It truly is. Key to the bathrooms for customers only.
Yeah. And that's it. And then I'm gone. That's the only way I should be in a Wendigo movie. You're right.
All right, good. I will take 1 ticket to see that movie, please.
Okay, you're the only one. I wondered who bought it.
I'm going to frame it. I'm not using it. I don't want to see this movie. It's a collectible item. There's just one.
The Hamburglers with their song Robble Attack. Before that, you heard Shannon and the Clams with the Cult song. We started the show this week with Guantanamo Baywatch and their song Neglect, which, apart from teaching you a valuable lesson about relationships, also teaches you how to spell the word neglect.
I'm not interested in learning any lessons about relationships. Sorry.
But you do like learning about spelling.
Yeah, I'm kind of a stickler for it.
Well, that's the only thing that's kept us together all this time.
Here's the secret to any relationship, according to me. The couple that spells together stays together.
The couple that spells together dwells together.
That rhymes, I guess, if you're into that. That's a different meaning, but okay.
Look, the couple that rhymes together chimes together.
Dines together, maybe? It's an approximate rhyme.
The couple that rhymes together has good times together.
That's the tattoo I'm getting at Program Underwriter Bozeman's Tattoo Alley. It's going to be a pretty long tattoo, but I'm thinking about getting it arm to arm over my back.
Oh, you're getting in some like 25-point font there. Okay.
Like from my wrist to my shirt edge, the cuff, if you will, you'll be able to see the couple that and then on the end, you'll just be able to read together.
Ether going up from your collarbone to your ear. I like that you called a cuff the shirt edge.
It's the shirt edge that goes on your arm.
It is the arm shirt edge.
In a t-shirt, do you still call it a cuff? There's no button.
I don't normally have to enumerate parts of my t-shirt, apart from the part that has the picture of SpongeBob on it.
Wait, which part is that?
The front.
The neck part that touches your neck? The hole that your head goes through?
The torso arena is the part,
yeah.
the important part of the t-shirt normally. The back of the shirt, less important.
That's what holds the tag inside, Keith. I disagree.
Oh, it's structurally useful.
It's what separates a bib from a shirt. That's what that particular part of the shirt does. What you got there, sir, is an apron.
I don't care if people stare at my back, but what I'm trying to distract people from is the front part of me and my face. So I need like a bold, eye-catching graphic on this apron. See, Randy, when you get such a large tattoo, you might want to avail yourself of my new transparent shirts. I've got them in full button-up or pullover styles, but they're made out of just crinkly clear, completely transparent PVC. And so people can see all of your fantastic artwork, and you're still keeping the rain off your skin.
That sounds very sweaty, PVC garment.
I know that's never stopped you before.
I will not eat at a restaurant where any of the people serving me food is wearing any of these types of garments. And that's why I go to fully shirted help at Columbo's Pizza and Pasta, Program Underwriter this hour. Now featuring Joe's Fun Zone. It sounds like there might not be shirts there, but there are, trust me.
You and the health commissioner have to work that out amongst yourselves. But if you are an eating establishment that wants to do that, I fully support you. I like a restaurant where I can see my server's navel. Lets me know they're human, not some type of weird lab clone or alien. They've got a belly button.
Yeah, it also lets your sandwich have a piece of belly lint in it.
They're wearing a fully PVC covered thing. It's probably better at keeping out lint than any of your cotton-based clothing.
How do you even clean something like that? There's no way to be sure.
Power wash.
How do you know? How do you know if it's clean or not?
Oh, I just take all of my clothing and leave it on top of my car when I go through the car wash.
How does your car get clean? This doesn't make any sense.
Life in Pink by Kate Nash. Before that, you heard Katie Enlow singing on her mashup of MOP's Ante Up and Harry Nilsson's One, the song One Up. Before that, Grains of Salt by Taco Cat, and we started that batch of tunes with Jordana and TV Girl with their song Summer's Over, which it darn about is, Randy. It's the end of August already.
It is. Why is it that autumn has two names, like autumn and fall, and none of the other seasons have like a secondary name? Why does this one get the benefit?
The thing that happened in English when the Norman French invaded England and replaced a lot of words that were previously in the culture. So the royalty, the mucky mucks, they wanted the meat of an animal to be a different name from the animal. So pig became pork,
venison
and beef from a cow, etc.
Sure.
That the French could not stand the horrible fall of the leaves, and instead they embraced the bittersweet autumn.
And then when they got to all the other seasons, they forgot that they had begun a renaming convention and just moved on to some other thing.
If you've ever spent a winter in the United Kingdom, trust me, you don't care. You went back to the French Riviera. Call it whatever you call it.
Keith, it's because they didn't have Program Underwriter Ghost Town coffee roasters to keep warm.
Do you think other countries have ghost towns? Like, I assume Canada probably has some from people that came out to trap moose or whatever, and then the moose populations died out.
Well, they definitely do, I think, and it's you look at archaeology. There's a phasing out of a town that goes to a ghost town, and then it goes to literally nothing covered in dirt, and then it's an archaeological dig site. You know, it goes from a lot of value when people live there to oh, this is where people used to live and there's no real value, to this is an empty field, to we must preserve this, every detail of this, with extreme caution.
But that's not so much a ghost town. Like, a ghost town needs like some of the facades of the original buildings, and it's just an abandoned
But I'm
place.
just saying, like ancient Egypt, or places where they've built over a town and forgotten about the remains underneath, and you find that centuries later, those were at one point ghost towns. You don't immediately jump to archaeological dig site. It's a matter of stages.
No, there is a phase where it's ghost towns, but do we have any other ghost towns? I mean, sure, I guess the Great Pyramids of Giza are sort of ghost buildings.
Nobody's living there. I mean, there's like traffic around it, but nobody's living inside of them.
Do you think Europe has dead malls, or North Africa? They didn't have like a gold rush, I assume, in France. And then there's just a bunch of towns where they're just like, the cheese is no more. We have left this town and come back to Paris.
I mean, Egypt definitely had a gold rush. I mean, sarcophagi just coated with gold. All of their things coated with gold. You telling me it just happened?
But they stayed in those cities. They had a lot of gold in Cairo, and Cairo is still a place. Is there another ghost town apart from, here in the American West?
So what you're asking is, does Europe have the equivalent of an old prospector?
Yeah, is there like a...
Je suis un prospector.
Yeah, there's a big bearded German in lederhosen instead of the denim overalls, waving a pickaxe, and Isa Gölten Dyson Hügeln.
Fewer donkeys, probably, but
Ich bin eine Prospector.
I don't see why not. I mean, Europe has rails. It makes sense that it would have happened.
I guess it's just because they're so tiny. Like, America's like, we've got whole swaths of land we can throw away. Like, we tried a city here and it didn't work out. Meh.
Right. We just destroyed mountains in other places to get the gold. It's fine.
We really did.
But we got some pretty shiny gold, you have to admit.
We got some pretty shiny gold, and our indigenous population got nothing. That is really entirely true. Yeah, sorry to bring that down. You know what, Randy? After all of this downer stuff on the coffee show, I want to perk myself up by going to Program Underwriter Last Best Comedy.
Online at lastbestcomedy.com.
It's a thing you have to go to in person. It's just where you can buy tickets.
You don't do all that training through Zoom?
I do all of my training through Zoom. Yeah, I was just going to be all like, about the gifted and talented group we were in as kids. And I was
it was originally called Zoom.
Before Gate, but I'm like, this is
Gate,
not helpful.
That was before we got there, I think.
Yeah, Zoom. No, I was in Zoom for one.
Were you?
Yeah, in first grade. Zoom opens our minds. In the basement there at Irving School. I loved how, like, when you're in gifted education, they're like, off to the basement with you.
Yes, we have a dungeon just for you.
Poor me, I was so good at standardized testing. Whereas Randy spent first grade getting puked on by Amy What's-Her-Name.
Yeah, it was Amy What's-Her-Name.
It was Amy What's-Her-Name. I went to her house once on a play date to play He-Man dolls, and she just wanted them to get married, and I was like, ew.
Some of them were already married, probably. It's illegal, Amy.
Yeah, Man of War and Moss Man?
Yeah. There's a Lady of War at home?
No, they hey, look, we're not heteronormative here. Like, they could get married if they want to.
Oh, married to Moss Man. I got you. I follow. All right.
Yeah. Man of War makes a really good best man of war.
Well, Keith, maybe we should sign up for some of those stand-up and improv classes.
I think we need it. Do you do the show standing up?
No, I do it lounging on my back. I have a person fanning me. There's a lady with grapes, but I don't want any grapes. How many times do I have to tell you I don't want any grapes? Get some better snacks. I'm sorry I yelled, Grape Lady. That was uncalled for. I'm sorry. I don't care for grapes, okay? Are we good? Well, she left the grapes. I don't know. Now I feel bad.
I really do hope you get that worked out. I do the show hanging upside down in one of those weird hanging upside down exercise things that were endemic to 80s television shows like MacGyver had on his
from the 80s,
houseboat.
yeah, the spine decompression hanging boots.
I like to feel the blood rush to my head while we do the show. Which is why I desperately need...
Your forearms aren't strong enough to do a handstand. It's the perfect invention for you.
I don't have enough core strength to lift myself up, to flip myself back up. That's why Randy has to come in every week and crank me back up when we're done with the show.
It's a long drive, but I guess I have to do it.
Nerd Alert by the Aquabats. Before that, the Presidents of the United States of America and their song Some Postman. And we started that batch of songs with 100 Gex and their track Frog on the Floor.
Why? That's not a nerd alert. That's just a light that's always flashing when we're recording. Why do you think that?
You know, they say that the nerd alert only goes off when nerds are around, but it always seems to be going off when we're here.
Probably malfunctioning.
Yeah, it's probably something. I like the spinning blue light, though. It's pretty cool.
It brings you in, right? Like it makes you think of Kmart.
Yeah, the blue light special this week is on blue lights, $1.99 a string. It's one of our first jokes.
It's a really good deal.
It's a good deal. It's a good deal, but not a great deal like our fantastic program underwriter, Whistle Pig Korean.
I walked by there the other day. It wasn't time for me to eat, so I couldn't go to eat. I was heading to an appointment, and I got a smell of the food, and man, I wanted to go inside so badly regardless.
But you were on a leash, and they had to get you to the vet.
That's right. Had a big boy operation to get. I got a cool cone afterwards. It's really nice. It's an ice cream cone. What are you thinking? I don't know.
I thought you were in the plastic neck
I'm
cone.
not an animal, Keith.
Well, I mean, you are. According to...
Most veterinarians.
I was going to say most...
Taxonomy?
Yeah, according to taxonomy, you are an animal.
Big Taxonomy wants you to think that.
Taxonomy wants me to think that whales are mammals for some type of money grubbing.
And also dolphins? Yeah, I'm not buying this.
Wait a minute. Tuna, not a mammal. Dolphins, mammal. They get caught in the same nets.
They all taste like chicken.
Of the sea.
Maybe I'm back on board with this again.
I know that tuna name brand trademark copyright registered that we probably shouldn't even be talking about on the air is known as the chicken of the sea. But I think it's not because of any type of flavor or the proteins that make up their meat. It's more that they have wings but don't really fly.
Tuna have wings?
Yeah, and they don't really fly. That's why they're always just in the water.
Flying fish fly?
Well, yeah, but they're not tuna. Flying fish are the pheasants of the sea.
They're like the dodos of the sea.
Unlike the dodos of the land, which is Randy and I. If you like the coffee show, you can find all of our stuff online on our brand new digital offerings at the Coffee Show World of Content. Go ahead and search us on YouTube or wherever you find podcasts for the Coffee Show World of Content, and you can hear this week's show, sans the expensive to license music, and we'll have lots of things there for you every week for totally free. Wait, for free? What are we thinking?
No, they have to watch ads.
Oh, good.
I hope there's good ads. I hope it's not 5 unskippable minute 30 ads each.
Oh, egad. No, I hope not. If you would write reviews and like or subscribe or whatever things happen, we would...
Comments! Who doesn't love a good comment?
Yeah, go on there and tell us that Randy should stop wearing so many hats. Engagement is what drives it, so go ahead and troll us. Say, like, Keith's mustache is too wide. I hate this radio program.
When you say I wear too many hats, is it like I'm a DJ and I have another full-time job and I'm expected to do things for the neighborhood HOA and those types of things? Or is it you're talking about literally like a Dr. Seuss character wearing too many hats?
No, you're just like the guy from Caps for Sale. You are wearing just way too many hats stacked upon your head at one time. It's ludicrous, Randy.
Being that hat salesman is one of the hats that I wear, Keith. If anyone wants that hat, they can buy it from me and you can sell hats.
Yeah, and you can come back next week and co-host the show with me. When we'll be back next week when I say he's Randy, maybe?
And he's Keith.
Snappy catchphrase.
Nice hat.
Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Coffee Show World of Content. We want to say a very quick thanks to our good friend Jake Monin for our theme song, and let you know that all the incidental music in between is from our friends in the band, The Ornery Jacks. Thank you so much to them for writing such great music. You can find all of their tunes and more on the internet. You know how to do that, but we've provided some links in the text description as well for you.
Yes, and I like subscribe notification.
I rang bell and left review and comment.
You sound like the Hunchback.
Well, this is my sanctuary, and also I have a constant ringing in my ears, so fair enough.